Hey girl. Hello, my beautiful Aries. How are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca, and I'm going to be doing your weekly love reading between you and your soulmate, Aries. Now, when it comes to my readings, though, put things in perspective. I'm just a man reading some tarot cards to you. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the cards that resonate and leave what doesn't, because I promise you I'm not going to be offended by it. If you find some cards that resonate with you, though, be sure to let me know in the comments below, because that's how I keep up with y'all, is through the comments. And I just love hearing y'all's aha moments that you have with the cards of something really just resonating with you that really just pertains to your life in a very specific way, right? Now, if you find that my reading does give you a sense of direction, I would love for you to give me a like and subscribe, because it does help out my channel a lot, and I always am super appreciative when you guys take the time to do that for me. And then finally, I also do your weekly general reading, Aries. Now, I'll leave a link to it over here if you would like to check it out at a later point. But yeah, let's just get into your reading. Oh yeah, and finally, I'm not here to make a decision for you in your life. I'm just here to give you perspective of this week to help you make a decision, right? Ultimately, it's your life to live, right, and not mine. So you are left with the decision. Hopefully this reading just gives you some perspective and assists you in making that decision for what's best for you. So let's just get into this now, finally. Aries, we have the Queen of Wands on your side, so you are being pushed to take action in some sense. Whether it's towards this person or not, we'll see. But I like this energy. The Queen of Wands is like, whenever this card is spoken of in the definition, is honoring some type of inner passion, something that's like burning brightly inside of you. So if you've been really having some feelings bubbling up towards this person, Aries, this is kind of like a push for you to kind of just lay your cards out on the table. Speak what it is that's going on in your heart and what's burning inside of you. On their side of things, they have the Moon card. So they're dealing with something from, maybe this is like, if you were to speak to them, it would catch them off guard, right? But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting, is that I feel like with this Moon energy, either if you speak your feelings to them, it's going to catch them off guard, but not necessarily in a bad way, or they're currently dealing with something that's catching them off guard, that's having them distracted. And then the overall energy is the Page of Pentacles, so the extension of communication. So this is a really good week, Aries, for you to communicate with this person, or maybe you can anticipate some communication from your person this week. But let's just get into the overall energies. Let's get into the clarifiers for these cards now, Aries, because the messages can always change with the clarifiers. Now, on your side of things, remember we have the Queen of Wands. So the clarification that we have for it is the Knight of Wands just flew out. So when you have this Knight of Wands, this is kind of like that hot and cold energy. Now, it almost feels like some weeks, like some days, you may feel like the most attractive person ever, the most desirable person ever, or you're just really motivated and you really just don't mind putting yourself out there and wearing your heart out on your sleeve. And then other days you end up retreating, and other days you're not feeling so sure about this connection or so sure about yourself in some type of way. Now, Spirit's really trying to push you towards doing action again, just because it's like you're being promised this Nine of Cups should you make the decision to commit and start taking action with this Queen of Wands here, Aries. I'm saying this because it's like you're being promised like this self-happiness, like this self-fulfillment in terms of this. You're being promised this 10 of Cups and this 4 of Wands, where it's like such a beautiful setup in terms of for a love reading, just because it's like the 10 of Cups is like that white picket fence, having the kids in the family, like that complete fulfillment, right? So when you have it paired with the 4 of Wands as well, and notice like all these cards are celebratory. I mean, I guess besides the 9 of Cups, which is still arguably important to have like that self-fulfillment and happiness in terms of this, but these other cards are addressing with other people. You're not alone in this situation here, Aries. The 4 of Wands is the 1111 card. It's kind of like the proposal card as well. So when you have this paired with the Knight of Wands as well, maybe this is going to be a message for only a few of you, Aries, but I do feel like this Knight of Wands has the potential of coming towards you rather quickly, and this is like the representation of this person coming towards you, extending that line of communication with this Ace of Pentacles. But take that as you will. Let's take one final card to close off your row of things. Nine of Swords. So I do feel like regardless whatever happens this week, we're going to be addressing this finally for you, Aries. Whether this is in a good way, perceived good way, or perceived bad way, we're putting a rest to the negativity, or like the anxieties, I don't want to say talking about getting rid of depression, but like the creeping thoughts when it comes to this connection, whether this is where it's closing off or whether like forward movement happens with this communication and all that. When in terms of this connection, this is going to be addressed during this week. So that's really good to say, Aries. Like, you're not going to be in this Nine of Swords energy by the end of this week. Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is with this reading, Aries. I cannot speak. Now, on their side of things, remember, they have the Moon card. So let's see what this is all about. Now, they have the Page of Swords in the reverse. So it's almost like something happens, or something. I feel like these two cards are connected in the sense of, let's just use the storyline of like a past like ex, just because this is like a love reading, right? But it doesn't have to be a person, truly. A past ex extending communication to them or reaching out to them, and this kind of catches them off guard, and maybe they don't know what to do about it quite yet, because they do have this Five of Swords, but it doesn't make them feel good. So maybe this week they might be just a little bit distracted trying to figure out what to do with this situation. So for some of you, Aries, taking my own personal bias out of the side, if you're waiting for someone to like leave their current situation, it does seem like potentially they're in this situation where they're kind of realizing something's just not serving them anymore, where something's kind of like immature and just not, it's like not good for their mental health in some regard, and they're kind of letting go. Like they're becoming aware of this, right? And I feel like they're kind of letting go of it. I do feel like, I use the example of the ex, Aries, and I still really do feel like it's in regards to a person, like some person reaches out to them, Aries, where it just catches them off guard, and they don't know what to do about it, because they do have the Lovers card coming in as well. Now, let's not pretend like the Lovers card doesn't also represent just like big decision, like, this could be just like some type of big decision in their life that was like something that was super impactful in their life at some point. But it does seem to be where it's just like they get some type of communication that they weren't expecting, that they didn't really want, and this current week they're just kind of like in this process of processing this and really learning to let go of toxic old energies, seemingly. The energy to close this out, Seven of Cups. So yes, Aries, it does seem like they're like an ex continues on, an ex reaches out, and then like they're left with a choice, right? Of like, with the Seven of Cups, they're left with choices of figuring out what it is that they want to do, but they realize something isn't serving them, something's just like toxic to them, and they let it go. I do feel like, though, overall, like this week they're going to be making a decision, which it does make sense when you think about it, Aries, because they're like your closing energy was the Nine of Swords, and me saying like you're not going to have like, there's no longer going to be any type of unsureness after this week. And it seems to be, it's not going to, like, you're not going to have that unsureness anymore, because their closing energy is the Seven of Cups, where they do make a decision finally on something. So again, whether it's good or bad, perceived good or bad, or whether it's like they reach out to you or they don't, you're going to be receiving an answer this week. And that's what this Page of Pentacles seems like it's going to be the representation of. So let's get into this. Now, all these cards, the clarifiers are all in the reverse. I'm not going to lie to you here, Aries, but I do feel inclined to address them both in the reverse and in the upright, just because of the uniqueness of this reading. So for your Page of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Cups coming in, the Sun card coming in, as well as the Star card coming in. So a lot of good cards, a lot of big cards, but not kind of cards you want to see when they're in the reverse. So let's talk about it in the upright first. Eight of Cups, you're going on to something bigger and better waters. When this is in the reverse, there's some type of resistance towards, like, you want to stay stuck in this small oasis rather than going to something bigger and better. I do add emphasis on bigger and better. when you have the Star card in the upright, this wish fulfillment, stress being, or weights being lifted off of your shoulder through things just finally coming together, through things finally manifesting. When this is in the reverse, there's something blocking you from connecting to the the ethereal, or whatever you wanted to subscribe to in your belief system, that's blocking you from having this wish fulfillment. When you have it connected with these two, when you have this in the reverse, dare I say, like, what's blocking your wish fulfillment is you choosing to stay at these waters. Now the Sun card is the final card. When it's in the upright, it's the best card in the deck, what you want. Like, you're gonna have that manifestation at an all-time peak, abundance, what have you, right? Insert any good word here, and that's what the Sun card is for. When it's in the reverse, quite literally the opposite, right? Where you're not in alignment with your path, you're not answering your calling, you're not doing what even you yourself would feel like you are meant to do. So yeah, Two of Cups. Now this card did come in the reverse as well. I'm gonna address them both just because for this final closing energy, for the energy between y'all. The Two of Cups in together, when it's in the upright, is sharing a communication. When it's the inverted, like it did originally come out as, I don't see it working out. So what I would say overall, final thoughts on this reading this week for you, Aries, I would say it seems to be you're going to be getting closure this week when it comes to this person. And I don't see this as a bad thing, because having this type of closure, addressing this Nine of Swords and having that type of closure lets me know that, like, whether you have the closure where you are able to share this cup with this person, you're going to have that removed away, you're going to have that fulfillment, that wish fulfillment, that sun, that happiness, or whether they make their choice and choose to go with somebody else or with like a past connection. You're going to have something be relieved, like have this relieved from you, because you're going to be able to look for something else that will be able to give you this energy, right? Let's not forget our main cause or our main goal here, or for what it is you're trying to accomplish. So it's the reading that I have for you, Aries. If it was of helpfulness at all, if that's a word, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and be sure to give me a like and subscribe if you did enjoy this reading, and be sure to share my channel with a friend if you did enjoy this reading as well. But until next time, I love you so much, Aries. Bye.